Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Stapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharma swarupine Stapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharma swarupine Avadara Varishtaya Ramakrishna Te Namaha Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityoramamritangamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us offer our salutations to Sri Ramakrishna, the embodiment of all religions, the Supreme God Incarnate who came to establish religion universal. Let us pray to Him to lead us from unreal to real, to lead us from the darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge, to lead us from death to immortality. We have been studying Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. We are coming towards the close of the Gospel. Today's topic I have chosen from the Gospel, which is most important in our spiritual life, and that is Sri Ramakrishna very emphatically proclaims faith. Faith is the foundation of spiritual life. It's very important for us to know the significance of establishing firm faith in the Divine Supreme. Faith, in Sanskrit we call it as Vishvasa. Purna Vishwas. That means you must have complete faith in the Divine. So, every step is important in spiritual life. Whether you are living a family life or whether you have renounced everything, leading a monk's life, what is most essential is spiritual practice. If you don't practice, you won't get anything spiritual in your life. So, the top priority should be practice of spirituality. Follow any religion you want, it doesn't matter. But practice is important. If you practice spirituality sincerely, you feel the tremendous glory of the Divine Supreme. So, a person who practices spirituality should very definitely be free from dogmatism, fanaticism, intolerance. It is possible to practice spirituality in the real sense, provided you focus on your practice. Don't divert your mind to anything else. Don't try to impose religion on anybody. Don't claim superiority for your particular religion. Religion is universal. There's a way to understand religion, and that should be understood properly. In Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna we find how very clearly Sri Ramakrishna has dealt with this topic, religion. So, faith is the foundation. Without foundation, you can't build up your spiritual life. Sri Ramakrishna said to Ishan, please tell about the boy who posted the letter. It is in the Gospel. Ishan said with a smile, a boy once heard that God is our creator. So he wrote a letter to God, setting forth his prayers, and posted it. The address he put on the envelope was heaven. Master replied with a smile, did you hear that story? Referring to other disciples who were sitting by the side of him. Then Sri Ramakrishna makes a remark. One succeeds in spiritual life when one develops a faith like that boy's. Girish Chandra Ghosh, who became later on the staunchest devotee of Sri Ramakrishna, who recognized that Sri Ramakrishna was none other than the incarnation of the Divine Supreme. He was there and he was requesting Sri Ramakrishna, Master, please bless me. Sri Ramakrishna said, have faith in the Divine Mother and you will attain everything. Girish said, Sir, but I am a sinner. Sri Ramakrishna immediately corrected him. The wretch who constantly harps on sin becomes a sinner. Girish again said, Sir, the very ground where I used to sit would become unholy. Master replied, how can you say that? Suppose a light is brought into your room that has been dark 1,000 years. Does it illumine the room little by little or all in a flash? Then Girish said, Master, then you have blessed me. You have blessed me. Master said, if you sincerely believe it, what more shall I say? I eat and drink and chant the name of God. Girish said, Master, I have no sincerity. Please give it to me. Master said, I? Sages like Narada and Shukadev could have done that. Girish said, I don't see Narada and Shukadev, but you are here before me. And Sri Ramakrishna said smilingly, all right, you have faith. That means you have faith in me, in Sri Ramakrishna, he is telling. He who has the right mind finds the right way and also achieves the right end. It was through the power of his mind that Hanuman leaped over the sea. I am the servant of Ram. I have repeated the holy name of Ram. Is there anything impossible for me? That was Hanuman's faith. Hanuman's faith and devotion to Rama is par excellence. One must get instructions from a guru, Sri Ramakrishna says. Once a man was looking for a stone image of Shiva. Someone said to him, go to a certain river. There you will find a tree. Near it is a whirlpool. Dive into the water there and you will find the image of Shiva. So I say that one must get instruction from a teacher. Ishan said, that's true, sir. Master said, it is Satchidananda that comes to us in the form of the Guru. If a person is initiated by a human Guru, he will not achieve anything if he regards his Guru as a mere man. The Guru should be regarded as the direct manifestation of God. Only then can the disciple have faith in the mantra given by the Guru. Once a person has faith, he achieves all. Then Sri Ramakrishna gives the example. The Shudra Ekalavya learnt archery in the forest before a clay image of Drona. He worshipped the image as a living Drona. That by itself enabled him to attain mastery in archery. Don't mix intimately with Pandits. Their only concern is to earn money. I have seen Brahmin priests reciting the Chandi while performing the Swasthayana. It is hard to tell whether they are reading the sacred book or something else. They turn half the pages without reading them. All laugh. A Nile knife suffices to kill oneself. One needs sword and shield to kill others. That is the purpose of the Shastras, scriptures. One doesn't really need to study the different scriptures. If one has no discrimination, one doesn't achieve anything through mere scholarship, even though one studies all the 6 systems of philosophy. Call on God, crying to Him secretly in solitude. He will give all that you need. Sri Ramakrishna had heard that Ishan was building a house on the bank of the Ganges for the practice of spiritual discipline. He asked Ishan eagerly, has the house been built? Let me tell you that the less people know of your spiritual life, the better it will be for you. Devotees endowed with sattva meditate in a secluded corner or in a forest or withdraw into the mind. Sometimes they meditate inside the mosquito net. Now and then Ishan invited Hazra to his house. Hazra had a craze for outward purity. Sri Ramakrishna often discouraged him in this. Sri Ramakrishna said to Ishan, "Let me tell you another thing. Don't be over fastidious about outward purity." Once a sadhu, holy man, felt very thirsty. A water carrier was carrying water in his skin water bag and offered the water to the holy man. The sadhu asked if the skin was clean. The carrier said, "Revered sir, my skin bag is perfectly clean, but inside your skin are all sorts of filthy things. That's why I can ask you to drink water from my skin. It won't injure you." By your skin, the carrier meant the body, the belly, and so forth. The carrier was not an ordinary person. God in the disguise of a carrier. Then Sri Ramakrishna said, "Have faith in the name of God. Then you won't need even to go to holy places." Sri Ramakrishna sang intoxicated with divine fervor. "Why should I go to Ganga or Gaya, to Kashi, Kanchi or Prabhas, so long as I can breathe my last with Kali's name upon my lips?" You must have heard that Jesus walked on water to save the drowning Peter, his disciple. There are many accounts of persons who walked over water in this way due to their tremendous faith. And there is a story which Sri Ramakrishna tells about a farmer's daughter whose duty it was to carry fresh milk to customers in various villages. One of the customers was a priest. To reach his house, the milkmaid had to cross a good-sized stream. People crossed it by a sort of ferry raft for a small fee. One day, the priest who performed worship daily with the offering to God of fresh milk, finding it arrived very late, scolded the poor woman. "What can I do?" she said. "I start out early from my house, but I have to wait a long time for the boatman to come." Then the priest said, pretending to be serious, "What? People have even walked across the ocean by repeating the name of God, and you can't cross this little river?" This milkmaid was a village, guileless, simple woman. She took his words very seriously. From then on, she brought the priest's milk punctually every morning. And he became curious about it and asked her how it was that she was never late anymore. Then she said, "Sir, I crossed the river repeating the name of the Lord. Just as you told me to do, without waiting for the ferry. I just did what you said to me." The priest didn't believe her and asked, "Can you show me this? How you crossed the river on foot?" So they went together to the water, and the milkmaid began to walk over it easily, without any problem without any fear. Looking back, the woman saw that the priest had started to follow her and was floundering in the water. "Sir," she cried, "you are uttering the name of God, yet all the while you are holding up your clothes from getting wet. That is not trusting in God." Then Sri Ramakrishna says, never underestimate the power of faith. Then there is an episode in Ramayana that also is said by Sri Ramakrishna. Ravan, king of the demons, had an older brother, Vibhishan, who was a truly spiritual man, very unlike the rest of his family. Others came to him as a holy man. They knew his great devotion to Sri Ram, whom he looked on as God in human form. So one of the persons in Lanka wanted very urgently to go from Sri Lanka, where he lived, to India to see Lord Ram. There were no boats to take those days. There were no boats to take them in those days. So this man came, explained his great longing to his teacher, that is Vibhishan. Then Vibhishan went inside and, taking a large leaf, wrote upon it the name of Lord Rama, wrapped it, and told the disciple, "Now, don't be afraid. Keep this in your pocket. The power of this alone will carry you across the foot. But look here, the moment you lose your faith in it, you will be drowned." The man set out, and he was walking very easily on the water on his way to India, from Sri Lanka to India, when suddenly, when he was in the middle of the waters, he became curious. What is that? It is wrapped up inside, something he has kept. What could this be? So powerful to work this miracle. I have been able to walk. So, this curiosity forced his mind, and pulling the packet from his pocket, he opened it. He saw, what? Just this? A leaf with the name of the Lord. That's all. And as doubt crossed his mind, he began to sink. Again, about Hanuman in Ramayana, the great devotee, Vanara devotee, he also crossed from India to Sri Lanka. King Ramachandra and all his armies and followers were laboring to build a bridge over the strait. But Hanuman said, "What? I have taken the name of Sri Ram, then is there anything I can't do?" He had such total faith in the power of his master's name. Then in one big jump, he cleared the many miles of water from the tip of India to the island. Having faith in oneself, faith in the teacher, faith in the words of Scripture, and faith in God, we must succeed. all the direct disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, who got training directly from Sri Ramakrishna about the spiritual practices, they all realized the truth in their very life. So they have expressed very clearly about the importance of establishing faith in oneself, about the efficacy of the Divine Supreme. Swami Chidananda said, "You better leave these debates and arguments alone. We have got a brain of very limited capacity. And for realizing God, all this hair splitting is of no use. What you require is burning faith in Him. In order to be firmly established in that faith, you may raise one or two valid points, but nothing more. Our arguments are just like armchair discussions. They lead us nowhere. We argue about God and then go home and lie down in bed. That is not religion. And it doesn't contribute to peace of mind. What is wanted is such faith, faith alone. But we must have that faith implanted in us if we want to see God. Whereas divine incarnations already have it. That's the only difference. They have seen God. We too will certainly see Him. Only it's a matter of time. Belief is of three kinds: unquestioning faith, believing from another's example, and believing after realizing the truth through one's own experience. Somebody asked the question, "Sir, which one is the best?" Swamiji replied, "Any kind of faith is good. Faith is the foundation of spiritual life. If unfortunately there be anyone with no kind of faith in him, you have only to hold him down under the water of the Ganga and not let him come up for a time, even if he wants to. He will then believe." Does that bring about faith? Yes. God holds us down in this way in the ocean of the world. You will have to subjugate your passions and hold fast to the faith that God exists everywhere. What you require is a good deal of faith, reliance and patience. And with all this you will gradually reach the goal. You should hold fast to faith and never lose it. You can't find anybody in the world who does not at all cling to some sort of faith. Without faith, you can't even take a single breath. Faith is the foundation of spiritual life. Too much of argumentation is of no avail. You got a brain of a very limited capacity. What is needed is faith, burning faith in Him. In order to be firmly established in that faith, you may raise one or two valid points, but nothing more. Unless you have faith, arguments and discussions will only cloud the issue and create confusion. Take the instances of Kant and other philosophers. In the end, they say that one cannot be sure that God exists, although behind the creation there is something which guides it in an orderly fashion. What does all that amount to? On the other hand, one can see God, talk with Him and touch Him. Do they say such things? Then what's the use of their philosophy? What's the use of their philosophy? What do we then gain by reading these works on philosophy? Book learning is of no avail for God realization. The only thing required is faith. Purity, truthfulness and honesty should make the cornerstone of your life. And there should be faith. What you require is a good deal of faith, patience and reliance, and gradually you will reach the goal. Repeat God's name and peace will be yours. The main thing in spiritual life is to have love, devotion and faith in God. He is our closest relative. He lives in the hearts of all beings. If you desire to have firm and unshakable faith and devotion to the Lord, you should also take to tapasya, hard austerities. Tapasya does not mean aimless wandering hither and thither. It really means regular and steadfast japa, meditation and self-control. Actually, very few of us believe in God all the time. How do you know this? Because we allow anxieties and fears to arise in our minds. If we really have faith in God and in His infinite power of goodness, we can never feel fearful about anything. When worries and perplexities rise in our mind, it shows we have ceased to believe in God, and in that He is caring for us. If we have real faith in God, we never grow anxious. Faith in God is the foundation of all life, both spiritual and physical. If we should put faith in God on one side and the Lord of the whole universe on the other, I would take faith in God. Blessed is a man who has faith. He is the happiest of men because he is free from all anxiety. We are all only puppets in the hands of God. When we understand this, all pride and ambition, all vanity and egotism will go. For that reason, he is a man blessed who has faith, because he has realized his puppet nature. To the question, how can we get such faith as Prahlad had? Prahlad, a great devotee of Lord Vishnu. The more you can purify yourself, the more that faith will come. Although Prahlad was put into boiling oil, although he was thrown under the feet of a mad elephant and over the highest precipice, he was not hurt because of his faith. But it was not blind faith that he had. It was faith based on realization. And if you have the same faith, you will be more powerful than the whole universe. Nothing can put you down. Our faith is faltering. Few of us believe in God all the time. As long as we have $3 or $4 in our pocket, we think we can depend on ourselves. Only when the last cent is gone and we do not know where to go, where to get another, do we begin to trust in God. But the man who depends on himself is never safe. While the man who has perfect faith in God is never in danger. A plant, says Sri Ramakrishna, should be kept under special guard by fencing it around, lest goats make a feast over it. But when it becomes a tree, hundreds of goats may take shelter on its spreading boughs. So when a little faith and a spirit of renunciation shoot forth fortunately in one's mind, one should preserve and nurture them with special care by keeping aloof from all worldly men. But when they are once firmly rooted within, none can shake them at all. Whenever anxiety rises in you, you become an atheist. You do not believe in God and that He cares for you. If you have real faith, you can never grow anxious. In order to know the ultimate reality, one must place implicit faith in the preceptor and scripture. Haphazard attempts will not do. He on whom faith descends is very fortunate. He needs nothing else. He is saved, and the only prophylactic he needs is discrimination. What really comes through spiritual practice is this unswerving faith. Faith in the words of the Guru, in the Lord, in the scriptures. The master would compare the mind to a packet of mustard seeds. If the packet is once untied, the seeds get scattered in all directions. How difficult it is to collect them again. Some are perhaps last forever, but absolute faith makes the impossible possible. You must have faith in the enlightened souls and carry on your religious practices accordingly, trying to understand the pros and cons of their teachings with our impure minds, occupied as they are with thoughts of the world, leads nowhere. Give up the attempt to understand everything and start your spiritual practices by relying on what the Master has taught. You feel depressed because your faith is lukewarm. You must cultivate self-confidence. Without Shraddha or firm faith in oneself, man is no man. He is a bundle of negatives. He accomplishes nothing. Believe that you have the power to achieve anything that your heart sets itself upon. Keep your faith firm and repeat the name of the Lord. You will know everything from within yourself. So, faith occupies most important place in our spiritual life. You have to cultivate faith, build up faith, stabilize faith in yourself. Don't try to link faith with your never-ending desires. Oh, God did not fulfill the desire. What's the use of faith? This kind of argument is fooling yourself. It won't work. Leave it in the hands of God. Let Him do whatever He does. He does everything for your own good. You will realize it gradually by your tremendous faith, Vishwas in the Divine Supreme. I am reading the letter. This was written by Ashwini Kumar Datta, one of the saintly patriots of Bengal. This letter was written to him. This is the last section of this Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. And this Ashwini Kumar Datta asks Sri Ramakrishna, what do you think of Keshav Babu? Master said, oh, he's a saintly man. And Trailokya Babu, a fine man, he sings very well. Shivanath Babu, a very good man, but he argues. What's the difference between Hindu and a Brahmo? Master said, there's not much difference. In the serenade we have here, one flutist plays a single note right along, while another plays various melodies. The Brahmos play one note, as it were. They hold to the formless aspect of God. But the Hindus bring out different melodies. That is to say, they enjoy God in His various aspects. The formless deity and God with form may be likened to water and ice. The water freezes into ice. The ice melts into water through the heat of jnana. Water takes the form of ice through the cooling influence of bhakti. The reality is one. People give it various names. Take the case of a lake with 4 landing ghats on its 4 banks. People who draw water at one ghat call it jal, and those who draw it at the second ghat call it pani. At the third ghat they call it water, and at the 4th aqua. But it is one and the same thing, water. I told the Master that I had met Achalananda, Tirthavadhuta of Bharesau. Master said, is not that Ramkumar of Kotrang? Yes, sir. How did you like him? Very much. Well, whom do you like better, him or me? Sri Ramakrishna asking. He said, "Oh, can there be any comparison between you two? He's a scholar and erudite person. But are you one?" Sri Ramakrishna was a little puzzled at my reply. He means Ashwin Kumar Datta, and became silent. A moment later, I said, "That's Ashwin Kumar. He may be a scholar, but you are full of fun. There's great fun in your company." At this the master laughed and asked and said, "Well said, well said. Right you are." He asked me, "Have you seen my Panchavati?" "Yes, sir." He told me a little of what he had practiced there, his various religious austerities. He also told me about Nangta. Then I asked him, "How can I realize God?" Master said, "You see, he is constantly attracting us." He means God. As magnet attracts iron. But the iron cannot come to the magnet if it is covered with dirt. When the dirt is washed away, the iron is instantly drawn to the magnet. Weep for God and the tears will wash away the dirt from your mind. As I was writing down his words, he remarked, "Look here, only repeating the word Siddhi will not produce intoxication. You must actually get some hemp, rub it in water, and then drink the solution." Later he said, "Since you are going to lead a householder's life, create a roseate intoxication in your mind with the thought of God. You will be doing your duties. But let that pleasant intoxication remain with you. You cannot, of course, like Shukadeva, be so inebriated with the thought of God that you will lie naked and unconscious. As long as you have to live in the world, give God the power of attorney, make over all your responsibilities to Him, let Him do as He likes. Live in the world like a maidservant in a rich man's house. She bathes her master's children, washes them, feeds them, and takes affectionate care of them in many ways, as if they were her own children. But in the heart of hearts, she knows very well that they do not belong to her. No sooner is she dismissed than all is over. She has no more relationship with the children. Before breaking open the jackfruit, you should rub your hands with oil in order to protect them from the sticky juice. Likewise, protect yourself with the oil of devotion. Then the world will not cling to you and you will not be affected by it." All this time, Sri Ramakrishna was seated on the floor. Now he got up and stretched himself on his cot. He said to me, "Fan me a little." I began to fan him and he was silent. After a while, he said, "Oh, it is so hot. Why don't you dip the fan in water?" "Ah," I said, "you have your fancies too." The master smiled and drawled out, and why not?" "Very well," I said, "have your full measure of them." I can't express in words how immensely I enjoyed his company that day. The last time I visited him, you have mentioned it in the third part of your book. I had with me the headmaster of our school, who had just then graduated. You met him the other day. As soon as Sri Ramakrishna saw him, he asked me, where did you pick him up? He's a fine fellow." Then he continued, "You are a lawyer. You are very clever. Can you give me a little of your cleverness? The other day your father came here and stayed 3 days. Myself, how did you find him? Master said, a nice man, but now and then he talks nonsense. Myself, please help him get over it when you see him next. At this Sri Ramakrishna smiled a little. Myself, please give us a few instructions. Master, do you know Hriday? Myself, your nephew? I know him only by name. Master said, Hriday used to say to me, Uncle, please don't give out your stock of instructions all at once. Why should you repeat the same things over and over again? I would reply, you fool, what is that to you? These are my words, and if I like, I shall repeat them 100,000 times. You keep quiet. Master smilingly said, exactly so. A little later he sat up on the bed. He repeated Om several times and began to sing a song whose first line is, dive deep, O mind, dive deep in the ocean of God's beauty. Hardly had he sung one or two lines when he himself dived deep and was lost in Samadhi. When the Samadhi was over, he began to pace the room and with both hands pulled up the cloth he was wearing till it reached his waist. One end of it was trailing on the floor and the other was hanging loose. Nudging my companion, I whispered, see how nicely he wears his cloth. A moment later he threw away the clothes with the words, ooh, what a nuisance, off with it. He began to pace up and down the room naked. From the northern end of the room he brought, when he said, I knew it. I can judge a man by his stick and umbrella. They must belong to that man who was here some time ago and swallowed a lot of my words without understanding them. A few minutes later he sat down, still naked, on the northern end of his cot, facing the west, and asked me, well, do you consider me ungentlemanly? Myself said, of course not. You are a perfect gentleman. But why do you ask me that? Master said, you see, Shivanath and others don't think I am a gentleman. When they come, I have to wrap a cloth or something around me. Do you know Girish Chandra Ghosh? Which Girish Ghosh? The one who is in the theatre? Yes. I have never seen him, but I know him by reputation. Master said, a good man. They say he drinks. Master said, let him. How long will he continue that? Do you know Narendra? No, sir. I wish very much that you could meet him. He has passed the BA exam and is unmarried. Very well, sir, I shall meet him. Today there will be a kirtan at Ram Datta's house. You may meet him there. Please go there this evening. All right. Yes, do. Don't forget. It's your command. Shall I not obey it? Surely I will go. He showed us the pictures in his room and asked me whether a picture of Buddha could be had. Very likely. Master said, please get one for me. Very well, I will bring one when I come again. But alas, I never returned to Dakshineshwar. That evening I went to Ram Babu's house and met Narendra. In one of the rooms the master sat reclining against a pillow. Narendra sat at his right and I in front. He asked Narendra to talk with me, but Narendra said, I have a bad headache today. I don't feel like talking. I replied, then let us put it off till another day. And that came to pass in May or June of 1897 at Almora. The will of the master had to be fulfilled, and it was fulfilled after 12 years. How happily I spent those few days with Swami Vivekananda at Almora. Sometimes at his house, sometimes at mine. And one day on the top of a hill with nobody accompanying us. I never met him after that. It was as if to fulfill the master's wish that we saw each other at Almora. I saw the master not more than 4 or 5 times, but in that short time we became so intimate that I felt as if we had been classmates. How much liberty I took while speaking with him, but no sooner had I left his presence than it flashed on me, goodness gracious, think where I have been. What I saw and received in those few days, he sweetened my whole life. That Elysian smile of his, laden with nectar, I have locked up in the secret closet of my memory. That is the unending treasure of a hapless person like myself. A thrill of joy passes through my heart when I think how a grain of the bliss shed from that laughter has been. When I think how a grain of the bliss shed from that laughter has been sweetening the lives of millions, even in distant America. If that be my case, you may very well understand how lucky you are. So that completes the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. It has taken so much time, because since many years I was doing this Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. It is so uplifting, and every word what Sri Ramakrishna has said is most useful and practical for our spiritual path. So the essence of Sri Ramakrishna's teaching is that engage yourself in your own faith. Don't bother about anything else. You hold on to your faith, hold on to your ideal, put all your time on practice. Practice sincerely, diligently. Have firm faith in the Divine Lord, whom you are worshipping, whom you are meditating upon. God gives you everything according to your needs. Thank you very much. And I am planning to start Bhagavad Gita, the message of Lord Krishna, from next class onwards. Chant the name of the Lord and His glory unceasingly. The mirror of the heart may be wiped clean and quench that mighty forest fire. Hourly lust raging furiously within. O name stream down in moonlight on the lotus heart, opening its cup to knowledge of thyself, O self down deep in the waves of His bliss, tasting His nectar at every step, bathing in His name that bath for weary souls. Various are thy names, O Lord, in each and every name thy power resides. No times are said, no rites are needful for chanting of thy name. So vast is thy mercy, how huge then is my wretchedness, who find in this empty life and heart no devotion to thy name. O may mind be humbler than a blade of grass, be patient and forbearing like a tree, take no honor to thyself, give honor to all. Chant unceasingly the name of the Lord. O Lord and soul of the universe, mine is no prayer for wealth or retinue. The playthings of lust are the toys of fame. As many times as I may be reborn, grant me, O Lord, a steadfast love for thee. A drowning man in this world's fearful ocean is thy servant, O sweet one. In thy mercy, consider him as dust beneath thy feet. Oh, how I long for the day when an instant's separation from thee, O Lord, will be as 1,000 years, when my heart burns with his desire, and the world without thee is a heartless void. Prostrate at thy feet let me be, in unwavering devotion, neither imploring the embrace of thine arms, nor bewailing the withdrawal of thy presence, though it tears my soul asunder. O thou who stillest the hearts of thy devotees, do with me what thou wilt, for thou art my heart's beloved, thou and thou alone. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real, lead us from darkness to light, and lead us from death to immortality. May all be free from dangers, may all realize what is good, may all be actuated by noble thoughts, may all rejoice everywhere. May all be happy, may all be free from disease, may all realize what is good, may none be subject to misery. May the wicked become virtuous, may the virtuous attain tranquility, may the tranquil be free from bonds, may the freed make others free. May good pervade all people, may the sovereign righteously rule the earth, may all beings ever attain what is good, may the worlds be prosperous and happy. May the clouds pour rain in time, may the earth be blessed with crops, may all countries be freed from calamity, may holy men live without fear. May the Lord, the destroyer of sins, the presiding deity of all sacred works, be satisfied. For he being pleased, the whole universe becomes pleased. He being satisfied, the whole universe feels satisfied.